It must be a very confusing situation, and confusing on a minute-by-minute basis, because you are persistently trying to negotiate a country that you might not necessarily know, negotiate a language that you might not necessarily know, negotiate bureaucracy and relationships with authority figures and police and immigration services that you are not equipped to cope with. Coupled with that, you have the day-to-day life of just subsistence, so trying to eat, trying to drink, trying to remain positive, trying to maintain friendships in an environment on the streets where it's rife with abuse, people take advantage of everyone. It's a really horrendous environment to be in, and one that really, amongst all of the bureaucratic issues around claims and appeals and all that, it's the human side which these people have to live with minute by minute by minute. And I think that is something that is often lost in the whole system. So. Ultimately, I think the system has completely failed these people. For those who've had their claims refused, who might want to submit an appeal, for example, there's absolutely no legal aid, no free legal advice to support people through that process. And also those who might want to consider returning to their country of origin, there's no independent advice where they can go and seek independent and confidential advice on how they might go about that situation. So in many ways they are stuck in the middle there. So they are stuck within a system that is not effectively returning people home, but isn't also providing people with the necessary health, accommodation and benefits with which they need to kind of live what you might resemble as a satisfying or fulfilling life. In many ways, they live in a sort of they live in a situation of sort of tolerated social exclusion. So people just exist there, but they don't really have a path to go. So really providing people with some form of accommodation linked to really good quality immigration advice can really transform people's lives from a state of vulnerability into a state of safety. Rough sleeping as a whole is going through a catastrophic rise at the moment, so it's gone up by between 30 and 40% in just 12 months, and that's uniform across the country. London has its own very, very specific and acute issues of rough sleeping in terms of the pure numbers, so the numbers are huge, but the rise in those from outside of Europe and outside of the UK relatively maps the same rise with British-born nationals. Organisations like faith groups from across the board have always played a really key role in supporting people who have had their claims of asylum refused, and they're now needed more than ever in coordination with other services such as immigration advice, services that work around mental health, substance misuse, and general support. So it is a growing problem, and one that needs action right now.